Hello friends, Stacy Anfinson here with your Tar Report market update. Been a couple months since I've been out there, busy from an appraisal standpoint, but got some good information to go over this month. So let's dig in and see what is going on. All right, you've probably read that inventory is increasing, so we're going to give you some numbers, so pay attention to this. Resale listings added during September were up 7% versus August, up 14% versus September of 2024. Increased inventory is not producing lower list prices. Shocking. Median list price of listings added during September up 1% compared to August and up 3% compared to September of 2024. 75% of EOM listings on the market for greater than 30 days. That is upward from where we were in the last months of September. And then 50% of end of month listings with at least one price drop from original. Here's some more numbers. 38% of end of month inventory is new construction. Remember that this market is fairly dominated by it, and that just is what is in MLS. It doesn't account for builder inventory from their sales models. 39% of that MLS inventory has a price drop, and the average price drop from original list price at 5%. The resale market has had to react to that. 55% of end of month resale listings have one price drop, and the average price drop from original is also 5%. And then 75% of end of month listings are on the market for greater than 30 days. Now, we've had an interesting trend here during this year, kind of snuck up on everybody. We were screaming for lower mortgage rates, and we got them. To the far left of this bar, September of 2023, the national average was 7.6%. September of 24, it was 6.67%. You go to the third bar, was January of this year at 7.05%. So we've almost knocked, if you go all the way to the right, as of the writing of this, it's 6.19%. I mean, we've almost knocked off a full percentage rate in mortgage. So that's been great for your buyers, and you'll see what that has done to the average. If you look at prices from an average monthly principal and interest payment, the graph on the bar on the left is September of 2023. The average was 36.17. September of last year was 33.95. September this year is 32.98. So if you look at the graph, you can see that October of this year is down 9% compared to where we were in September of 2023. And if you look at on top, the average sales price during that time period is up 5%, and the PI is down 9%. So, we're in the days of pretty expensive housing here, and when the mortgage rate moves down, the monthly payment is absolutely influenced. So you can see that from there. So you can actually make the argument that house prices have gotten cheaper on a monthly basis this year. So that's pretty interesting to me. If I list my house for sale, will buyers come? Well, here's a couple things. Supply and demand are still an undersupplied category. End of month listings are up 261%. That's not a typo compared to September of 2021. Total listings added to the market are up 11% in September of this year versus September of last year. So the question being, will added inventory produce more sales or more withdrawn and expired listings? And here is the answer regarding withdrawn and expired listings, going back to September of 1919 and look at 2019, and then September for each of the following months. The bar is the number of withdrawn, and the green line is the number of expired. You can see that they're both trending well up from where they were. We'll call this the seller not understanding market conditions graph, and this is what happens to them. Expired, in my opinion, is absolutely related to the incorrect price. Withdrawn could be anything. It could be regarding they didn't get the price they want, but there's a bunch of reasons that you can withdraw your listings. All right, so days on market, still best indicator of correct list price. 31% of September sold resale listings sold within the first 10 days. Of those listings, the sales price original list price ratio was at 100%. If you go to the 11 to 20 day period, it drops to 99%. And the way the data presents itself, it seems to drop in 1% increments for each 10-day period. If you go down to 90 days, which used to be the standard for relocation appraisals, your sales price original list price ratio is 92%. So once again, get those prices correct at the beginning, and remember that the market seems to move in 10-day increments. All right, fourth quarter trends. What are we looking for? It's historically the lowest quarter in terms of sold listings. Will current mortgage rate levels juice demand? So far from what I've been hearing from y'all, it has been juicing demand. I've heard a lot of stories of multiple offers, which you typically do not get in the fourth quarter. As I've talked about before, be aware of National Home Builder Quick Move-In Inventory, QMI, and its level, especially in Wake Forest and Fuquay and 27703 in Durham. That's where the epicenter of new home building is. And in the fourth quarter, they typically discount QMI, so be aware of that. Combined with builder mortgage financing, it's an opportunity for buyers. Get a discounted house at a below rate mortgage. But it's also a headwind for sellers. And if the sellers are not aware of that and the listing agents are not aware of that, guess what you're going to wind up in? You're going to wind up in the withdrawn and the expired category. So that's all I've got for now. I appreciate you listening to me. Remember, offer services and appraisals, which is mortgage, relocation, attorneys, sellers, buyers, anybody who needs an unbiased third-party opinion of value. I've got the tour report, I've got consulting, got capacity in all those. So if you like this is my contact information. Hit the old like button. And once again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.